want you to take a minute and remind yourself who the fuck you are. You're an achiever. You're a visionary. You burn the rule book and you've made your own rules. You are a powerful creator. You're worthy of an overflowing bank account. You deserve more money than you know what to do with. You're also worthy of hot sex and a life that feels like a vacation. You're a fun, bad bitch, and you're capable of having anything you want as quickly as you choose to have it, because you are a topless manifester. Welcome, I'm Cassie McKenzie, and I'm a business coach for lightworkers, coaches and healers who are here to flip this world fucking upside down. This podcast is for visionaries like you who love to shove your crystals in your bra and laugh your way to the bank. And you're not about to let Mercury retrograde see what's possible or let a full moon take credit for your manifestations, because you have a vision for changing the world, not just inside you, but all around you. And if you're ready to see more clients, money, and freedom manifest into your business and your life at the snap of your finger, then you are in the right place. Let's go topless.
All right, let's dive into some business shit up in here. All right, listen. The last couple episodes have been a little bit of like intro and let me give you a starting point, but I have something on my heart that has been chapping my ass that I've seen running rampant online with online businesses and business owners and clients I work with. And oh my goodness, it's the fastest freaking way to lose money and lose sales and close yourself off from receiving. And if I had to start over tomorrow, this is the first thing that I would fix. Like if I had to start over tomorrow with nothing at all, this is the first thing that I would fix. And it's not my offer. It's not my marketing. I wonder if you can guess what it is. It's my client experience, okay? Because your client experience is going to make or break whether people come back, whether they rave about you, tell all their friends about you. And if they're not going to bring their friends, then that's a problem. That's a big problem. And also, if like the only thing worse than that is ghosting you forever, okay? Forever, where it's just like they stop commenting, they stop paying attention to shit that you do. They don't respond at all. And if they do, it's like one word answers, like really, really bad. Okay. So most entrepreneurs and business owners think that sales equals marketing and a good offer. Okay. But client retention is actually the multiplier. This is where it takes 4 to 5 times the time and money to sign a new client and to bring a new client in and have them pay you, whether you're selling products or services. It takes 4 to 5 times the amount of time and money than it does to sign a new client or get to sign an existing client and to get an existing client to pay you. So let me say that again. It takes 4 to 5 times the amount of time and money. And remember, time is money. Than it is to sign a new client than it does to re-sign or get an existing client to buy from you. Let that sink in for a second, okay? There are so many mentors that have really dropped the ball, but one most specifically recently is, oh God, I wish I could say the name, but I don't want to be one of those people. But it's crazy. It's crazy some of the experiences where like you can make a lot of money. You might be very talented at making the money, at making the sales. But then you're noticing that you're having to keep signing new people constantly because your existing client base eventually fizzles away. Maybe they're excited to work with you. They're excited to buy from you. They're excited to come into your store. But then after a while, they're less and less excited, or they, just start dropping off. Okay. And, this happened so many times for me where I've invested in a coach or I invested in a mentor or a service provider, and they made all these promises up front. They did a really good job of selling it. But then the delivery itself was horrendous, full of excuses, full of holes, right? Like I was constantly waiting on things to be delivered, or I'd constantly hear like an excuse about why something couldn't be delivered that was supposed to be delivered like a month ago. And this is so terrible because this is where you start to lose the trust of your clients. So in this case, let me give some specifics that I can give because I don't want to tell you who this was or out the company. However, it's just such a horrible product. Like it's a horrible way to do business. And I had seen, I had worked with these people in the past, and seen from like a far away kind of standpoint, hadn't been like depending on them for anything. And I'd seen some warning signs because let me tell you, as a salesperson, and you might not know, if you're new to my world, my name is Cassie McKenzie. I've been in sales for 25 years. I've been very successful. Not in every job I've had. There were some sales jobs that I absolutely fucking hated. And they were so bad. Like capital equipment, not for me. I don't really like spending 2 years trying to sell you something because I really like to see you, have fun with what I'm selling you. You know what I mean? I like to see you get results quickly. You know what I mean? And if I'm spending 2 years trying to sell something to you that you may or may not buy, then it's not very fulfilling, like it's sort of like buying a present for somebody 3 years in advance and then having to sit there and wait so you can give it to them. Like who fucking does that? Nobody. Definitely not me. So in all these jobs though, one thing is certain, that if I have a client that's waiting on something from me, that my follow-up rule is 24 hours. I need to get them what they asked of me within 24 hours. Most people who are good at sales, it's 48 hours. But I decided I wanted to be great at sales very early on. And for this reason, even if I had to drive across town out of my way to go hand something to, one of my customers, I didn't care because I wanted them to have that mentally checked off. I wanted them to see me as dependable and as somebody that they could call at any point, that they knew that if they worked with me and they ran into an issue that they would get an answer. And it doesn't mean, I still only worked like 4-hour days. Like this does not mean that you're running around with, a chicken with your head cut off. But like you have this standard where people ask for something of you and then you turn around and you get it to them. And I just see that as a basic requirement of doing business. So when I came into the online space, I was shocked at this whole like, get in my energy and you should be glad to just hear me spout out for 15 minutes and then, blah, 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 blah. Just a bunch of word salad. And I just thought it was really ridiculous. Oh, sorry. I thought I heard my puppy in the kitty litter box because he is the worst about that. Worst. Sorry if that's TMI. Okay, no, I'm safe. All right, back to my story. So I just see it as crazy because there's all this loosey-goosey bullshit where somebody, like you come up, like here's the examples that I've seen. There's no schedule that actually stays a schedule. That if somebody has the same person who burned me on the example I'm giving you now also is chronically scheduling 3 to 5 day events and not delivering on all 5 days in the 5-day period. Like not sticking to a schedule. I think that's a huge sign of a fucking leak in your back end, in your head, in your delivery. And it makes people like me who are very high achieving, I get shit done, I am very ambitious, I'm willing to pay you a lot of money to help me get what I want done faster. But if I see that you are flaky, then I'm not going to hire you. If there's something in me that says they might not show up, then you're done. You're done. There's no coming back from it. And for some reason, like I learned these things the hard way because I wasn't spending my employer's money as a sales rep. When I do as a sales rep, I'm spending my own money on vendors, right? And when the vendors don't follow through, and in this case, the mentors or coaches were the vendors, then I'm fucked, right? It's my money down the drain. And this is how your clients are looking at you too. And so even the ones that are that see it as worthwhile to spend a lot of money to the collapse the time, like in my VIP days, like I help you like basically condense 6 months of work down into like a day. And we're able to come up with back-end plans, client experience plans, sales psychology, see your leaks there and plug those just in like a 1 day period. And so when I, with this experience with this one, I'm just going to call it service provider, I signed up about a year ago. Now, this was before Hurricane Helene wiped our house out. And I signed up for a service that was more marketing based, where it was supposed to be a delivery of, some content, some funnel work, and some, basic setups like that. And I mean, yes, this is what I teach too. Am I able to do this myself? Yes. But I also knew that I was going into a season, and in my head, I'm like, oh, I've got these 2 kids. It's so easy to have somebody else with like another fresh set of eyes who has like highly converting funnels too, to have, them help me out and just take this off my plate. Right. And so, so they can go and they can set this up for me, and I don't have to sit there and do that. And then it ended up like when Hurricane Helene hit our house, I was like, holy shit, I'm really like, that's why I signed up for that thing. This is going to help me so much, because I had to step away fully from my business, hands off, because we didn't have a home. We were commuting like 3 hours every single day just to get to school and back. And that was when it wasn't a soccer night. And we literally stuck to the soccer just to like try to create some normalcy. Otherwise, I would have been like, fuck that. Let's just go back to our, apartment that has no furniture in it. We were there for like a month and a half before living in a damn trailer, right? Anyway, I thought, hey, this is going to be great. Well, it wasn't. It was a big old flop. And like, it probably, to be honest, it took me until like probably November, December-ish to finally start to get some of these things together. Like I didn't even have the mental bandwidth. I was going through the PTSD of losing the house and having so much responsibility with the kids. And then Ian lost his job too. And we were literally just trying to go from one step to the next. And it was brand new territory for us, because obviously we were used to living in the same home, having the same school. And when the school got wiped out and our home got wiped out, we were basically left there like, naked in the street. You know what I mean? I mean, not seriously, because that I probably would have been arrested, and then that would have been a whole nother ball game. But anyway, so to be honest, it probably took me until about, December timeframe to start working with this person and start setting up these funnels. And I noticed that we'd have meetings, and I'd be told at the end of the meeting, okay, I'm going to go set this up right now. I've got, like 30 minutes to an hour. I'm going to go set all these, emails up for you. And then I'll get back to you about like X, Y, Z. And then I'd be like, great, this is perfect. Well, a day would go by and I didn't see any emails go out. And then another day would go by and I'd see like one. And then a few days later, I'd see another. And then nothing would happen. And eventually it was sort of like, the excuses started coming out, where it was like, oh, it's my team didn't send those content pieces to you. We are on vacation. Oh, sorry, my child is sick. And I'm sorry. Oh, I got my period. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm sitting here and let me just say, when I lost my house, my kids lost their school, I still had a full-time job. I took 2 weeks off from the full-time job because we had back-to-back hurricanes. We were literally trying to clean the shit out of our house. We were homeless. And I couldn't even put together a Starbucks order, much less figure out what to say to customers and act normal, right? It was crazy. It was definitely deer in the headlights moments every single day. And so I took about 2 weeks off from working completely. But eventually, and we took 2 weeks off of school, but eventually we had to get back to that. So I just kept thinking to myself, like, sure, I'll give you this excuse, but like, I'm managing all this other stuff myself. And I know how complicated my life is. And then also I lost my dad. Like, my dad passed away, and right in the middle of all that. And so it was just me and my brother handling all the stuff for my dad because we didn't have any other living family on my one dad's side of the family. And it was crazy because I just kept thinking, like, I'm able to show up to work and she's supposed to be showing up to work. Like, I am her client. And eventually I just started to be like, what the fuck? Like, this is after like this went on over and over for months and months and months. And we're in different time zones, so even that got blamed. I've literally gotten every single excuse under the sun as to why the deliverables that were supposed to be delivered didn't get delivered. And I gave so many concessions and so many passes. And I was like, this is fucked up. Like, I'm basically like, whatever she could come up with, I'm just going to go with. And at least it's taking a little bit off my plate. But in no way, shape, or form did it ever live up to what I was promised. And also the momentum of me, did I take the time to go into my business and do all these things myself? No. Why? Because I didn't have the bandwidth for it. I was managing a whole lot of shit. Plus, then I was rebuilding my house out of a trailer with 2 kids, 2 dogs, and a cat. Not impossible. Obviously, we did it. But I really had in my head, I wanted this to be helpful for my business, to help with the momentum, and then I could sprinkle on top of the day. But instead, I just felt like I was babysitting this service provider over and over. And there's absolutely no way in hell that I will ever hire them again, ever, for anything. And on top of that, when I see the advertising that they're doing and the marketing that they're doing online about their services, it starts to really piss me off because I'm like, in no way is this accurate. In no way. And this actually the same person, I'm in the middle of another situation with them, which is completely laughable. I'm just saying to you, if you are a money coach, then, I know we all have our money things, but if you're saying one thing out to the public and behind the scenes, you're one of those people who doesn't pay your bills, it's going to catch up with you. There's this thing called integrity, and it's one of my big values. And all of these things all go together for your client experience. And for me before, also this was another person, and I'm not even going to go into like other shit that's happened. That'll be for another podcast episode. But like in no way, shape, or form should your clients, your current clients, be hesitating to recommend you to a friend who needs the same service. And if they at all hesitate or have to make excuses for you and say, well, she might take a little long, but once you get it, it's worth it. Or give it a couple of weeks, you might hear back from her. You better be shitting out gold nuggets and mailing them to your clients if that's what they have to go through to work with you. Because let me tell you, at some point, that shit gets old and you can be replaced. The God's honest truth. And not for nothing, but this social media, the connectiveness, word can get around faster than ever before. So don't worry so much about new sales. Worry about your client experience right now. Right now. How many excuses might somebody be coming up with to explain why it looks like you're dropping the ball to them? Okay? And make sure if you're wowing them up front, then you're wowing them on the back end too. And that's what she said, right? But like, make sure you're following up. Make sure you're reading their messages. You're not changing call times all the time. You're not changing meetings all the time. You're not blaming your kids and your dog and your everything on the fact that you're not showing up. Okay? You're not showing up for the people. And if not, be honest with them and refund them and say, hey, I can't keep up with this right now. We might need to take a pause. I actually did that. And if you were part of my membership, I actually did that back in February where I reached out to everybody in the membership and I was like, hey, I am in the middle of all of this shit right now. My contractor just quit. I've got all this stuff going on. I really want to be able to service you better than what I'm doing right now. And I can't do it right now. I want to pause your payments because I don't feel good taking that money. I want you to get like 100% out of it of what I promised you would. So I really believe that that's good business. Okay. The support, the fulfillment, thinking of all of that. All right. That way they're not feeling disappointed or questioning their investments. That way they're more likely to say, damn, that person is somebody I'd be with forever because they literally care about me and they don't just see me as a dollar sign. All right. Provide support. Sales is not so much about the sale. That's the beginning. The support that comes behind it is what creates your next sale. All right. Now, this is the first thing I'd build back if I was starting over. This is the first place I would pour everything into because it's the easiest lever to pull for consistent income, for referrals, for retention. Think back to that quote the stat I said earlier, which was, it's 5 times easier to sell to an existing client than to get a new one. It's 5 times easier to sell to an existing client than to get a new one. Okay. The reason is not just on the surface of they like your service, they're more willing to buy from you. They like their service, they're willing to tell 5 people about you. Those 5 people like your service and they're telling 5 more. So all of a sudden, let's see, that one person turned into 31, right? In just that instance, you have one happy client who refers to 5 people, that's 6 people in your world. All 5 of those people go tell 5 more. You're adding 25 more people into your world. This is how the snowball effect works. All right. So it's literally like what do you call it? The leverage. This is where your leverage comes in your sales. And if you feel like you've been in business for a long time, this is how to know if this is your problem. You've been in business a long time. You consistently see new faces and sign new clients, which is great. But that's all you're doing for the most part. 90% of the time you're signing new clients, even though you have more things for your old clients to hop into. I know it's uncomfortable. I know it is. But that's the damn truth, okay? So think about that. A lot of people don't teach you that, but I will. Mama Cass has your back on this one. So look at that. Here's a couple of things you can do, okay? Actionable things that you can do, all right? Come up with some sort of simple 30-day client follow-up, or even with new leads and with new people that have come in your world or and all, like make them feel like you see them. And especially people who are current clients, follow up with them and check in and say, hey, how are you doing? How's this experience going for you? Do you need some additional help? Because I would be willing to bet the reason why subconsciously you don't do this is because you're afraid they'll say they don't like it. And so that's the reality that comes from it. All right. Maybe you send a just because check-in email. Or audit yourself. Like go take a look at all your clients and say, did any of these people ask me for something? And how often did I get it to them quickly? Or did I have to come up with an excuse as to why I couldn't get it to them? Like just start to look, just start to be aware of where this might be leaking the energy. All right. And if you're realizing that your client experience is more of like this leaky bucket, right? That it's just, if you're literally about to shit your pants right now, and the client retention isn't happening, then this is exactly what we fix inside my Get Your Shit Together VIP day, literally. And if you want to get a taste, then I invite you to grab my freebie. If you're a new listener, you can check it in the show notes. It's called the 72-Hour Sales Rescue. This is a PDF, that checklist, and with prompts and things that you can go look at, and it'll tell you exactly where your sales leaks are and what to do to fix them. And otherwise, if you don't want to spend all this time trying to fix it all yourself, especially if you didn't really know what you were doing to begin with around it, right? And I do. I've got 25 years of this. Then jump into one of my VIP days. I only do like a few a month because I want to, again, make sure you have a good client experience and you're not just a number to me. And in these VIP days, what we do is I send you this, when you sign up, I send you this questionnaire. I get a whole background on your business, and then we schedule a call. We spend a full day going through your business and all of the hot spots. After that, you get like voice messaging access. I usually use like Telegram for that, or Voxer, whichever one you prefer, honestly, whichever one works better for you. And then you get a follow-up call after 30 days to reassess where you are, what's working, what's not, make some tweaks if we need to. So you're set up for success. And if you want to, you can jump into one of those VIP days if you're ready to plug all of those leaks immediately. Otherwise, go ahead. I invite you to come grab my freebie, subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you don't miss a thing. I'm going to be coming out with at least weekly episodes where the next one that I do, I'm going to tell you about some of the fun ideas that I have about, living an exceptional life here, and some of like the whack ass decisions that I'm making right now. It really blows my mind. It's super exciting, and I can't wait to bring it to you. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to the journey that we're all going on. Take care, subscribe. If you want the freebie, go check it out. You can download it from the show notes and come follow me on Instagram. Leave a 5-star review if you're feeling it today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye.